Liverpool legend Robbie Fowler had some big words to say about Darwin Nunez on Saturday during the game before the game at Accrington Stanley, during the game at halftime, and he basically said that Darwin Nunez is not a Liverpool player. What is your thoughts on that situation? Do you agree with Robbie Fowler? Do you think it's okay for Robbie Fowler to say this? Because he did take it to LinkedIn after the game as well, because he got a bit of abuse online. He had someone mocking his recent past experiences on the pitch and off the pitch. And he brought it up again on LinkedIn and said, look, I back what I said. I was only telling the truth, and people go too far. And it makes me ask you the question, is criticism okay? And when it's a legend like this, Robbie Fowler, right, one of the best strikers we've ever had at the club, certainly one of the best finishers we've ever had at the club, for him to criticise Nunez, for me, that's absolutely valid. And it should speak volumes that he has said this. Of anyone, not just a fan, this guy's a Liverpool legend, this guy's a Liverpool striker. We call him God at Liverpool for a reason. Is criticism okay? And I can't, for the life of me, understand fans that can't take other fans criticising things, whether it be players, managers, ownerships, whatever. Reece, is criticism okay?
No, I think criticism is 100% okay. As long as it's not personal and you didn't make it personal. I think a lot of the time, the only way you're going to get better is when you're criticised. The same as when you're doing well, you get praised. When you're not doing well, how are you going to... There's got to be a balance. And for me, Fowler is someone who can speak because he's a Liverpool legend. He was a top striker. Like I said, he's kind of referred to as God in our fan base. I just think people find it hard to separate emotion if they back a player. Some people are maybe emotionally attached to Nunez, so they feel you can't say anything. But for me, he never said anything personal. It's not like he said he's rubbish or I don't like the bloke or I think he needs to get out of the club. He just sees it as he doesn't really fit at Liverpool. He just said he doesn't come across as a Liverpool player, and he's entitled to his opinion. Like, it's not like he's someone who can't speak. If you look at his record for Liverpool, numbers he produced, that I think criticism is absolutely fine. I think a lot of the problem we have in sport and just in general is that people can't take constructive criticism. They can't take when someone says that you need to do better or that wasn't good enough. It gets turned into you're being personal, you're being mean, whereas it's not. This is how the world works. This is how you get better. So
do you think it's just this day and age? Do you think it's just this day and age? Like, everyone's too soft now. I think everyone's too soft, and I think you get Player FC fans. It's weird.
I think social media hasn't helped all that as well, because then you get accounts that are made, you get like groups and things, cults and certain things that are made where they can cancel people, or you can kind of ruin people because you didn't like what someone said, and you kind of spin it and twist it into a narrative that wasn't that. For me, like I said, I'm very much more old school. I'm someone, if you're doing well, give that person credit. If they're not doing well, don't make it personal, but tell them how they can do better. Maybe just speak to them and maybe this is not for you. It's your opinion. Most of the time, people take it personally, it's because it's usually true. If you take it in a constructive way and look at how can I do better, then you'll do better. But if you look at, like I said, how long Nunez has kind of had, he's kind of had enough time to he's had 3.5. This is third. Is it his third season or
third season? Yeah,
3.5 seasons.
So he's had more than enough time. I had nothing wrong with it because he didn't make it personal. If it was personal, then I would have said,
yeah.
Went a bit too far. He didn't. He was kind of only really scratching the surface. Really, he said he's.
It said what everyone was thinking, and that's
not really a Liverpool player. Not good enough. Which is it's his opinion. Football's all about opinions. You know what I mean? So.
I'd rather be told the truth than being gaslighted, if I'm honest. And for me, like, there's the big difference between criticism and abuse. Abuse is not okay. You don't go on social media, if it's Instagram and things like I've seen some disgusting things in the last 24 hours as well about on people's Instagrams and stuff. I think it's disgusting. And what that is just insecurities of people that are pushing out online. They can hide behind a profile picture. They can hide behind a photo of another player. They can hide behind things. I think that's more a social agenda. I think that's more of a social problem and a general problem in life, and especially social media. I think Instagram, Twitter should clamp down on abuse. I think they should make people not hide behind certain profiles. They should make people show themselves online. Yeah, I get that people have insecurities and things like that, and they hide behind certain things, but they've got to show proof of who they are. For me, they can have a profile picture of a frog if they want, but as long as they show who they are in the background in terms of like the details they put on there, and the fact that you can make multiple what is it as well, multiple accounts, personal accounts, then that doesn't go down well for me either, because people can do it on one account and then go to the other account and do the same thing. And I think that's a social thing. That's a big problem than what just football is. But in terms of football, Patricia, criticism of a player, like we criticise FSG, right, and rightly so. And I also praise FSG. There's no agendas for me on certain things. There's no agendas for me on a player. If I see a player playing, if I see Nunez playing well, I'll say, fucking brilliant game, Nunez. If he's been shit, he's been shit. You've got to say how it is. I like truth. I like honesty. Where do we go from this in terms of football? Do people just need to call it out, do you think?
Yeah, I think it just needs to be more direct. And the problem is, like, I fully agree with everything recent you said. Like, it just makes sense. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, whether it's right or wrong. Whether it's the thing is though, you could see a player and think that they're terrible, but realistically, if they're proven well in stats, or just maybe they're just not, and they're a bit of an eyesore. They're not as what you'd want them to be like. But just like Fowler saying, he just doesn't seem as a Liverpool player. That's just because he has high standards, and that he's had 3.5 seasons. Nunez has had 3.5 seasons to sort of show himself, and it's not like he was slating him from day one. He didn't have slate him at all. He's just saying we could have a striker that is the right player for us, and it's just a standards thing. And like you said, like Reece might like, let's just say Reece might like Soboslai, but I might think, I think he needs to improve. That's just an opinion. I'm not going to go on his like family background and everything like that and abuse the player themselves. I wouldn't want to do so. It's just performances on the pitch. You're going to get marks for performances anywhere, your own job, everything, every walk of life. You get opinions. So for me, it's 100% allowed, and yeah, people will make their opinions up. It's just sad that some people can't take criticism very well, because realistically, had he have even called out Nunez and said, "Look, he's not the player for us," even then it still would be acceptable. He's not bashing on him or hating on him.
That's
different. But just to say, look, we are Liverpool Football Club. There is a standard of players here. When we're not signing players that and putting them for a few seasons and then just going to keep them if they're not doing very well. There has to be that pay to performance on the pitch. They need to show what they're capable of. So he's fully entitled to it. And I think, like right now, these are all our opinions. Others might disagree with us fully, and they're entitled to that. So yeah, it's really weird.
He basically said, "Look, if we ain't signed him to just be hard work, just to show us hard work. We signed him to score goals, and that's exactly what you signed him for. And if we want hard work, we could put a fan on the pitch for hard work. I'm sure us three would go on that pitch and fucking run our ass off. I tell you one thing, I won't miss the chances he's missed. I tell you one thing, I put some of them in. So if you want just hard work, put a fan on the pitch." He basically said he's not a Liverpool player, and what makes it worse for Nunez, and I really want Nunez to work still. I'm still trying to think. Come on, Nunez, just come on. You work on it and pick yourself up. If you're going to somewhere, then fair enough. But from now till summer, fucking do something. Please do something. It'll help us out massively. And what makes it worse for Nunez, I think, is the people that have protected him and the people that daren't criticise him. And that's what's making it worse for him. The fight back's just as big, trying to get back to him. Like yesterday, I saw a tweet saying, Nunez and Firmino. I saw them compare between Nunez and Firmino and said, "Oh well, Nunez has scored more goals than Firmino." And I thought, hang on a second, Nunez and Firmino in the same sentence. I thought, do you actually know football here? Do you know what football is? Do you know what Firmino was? Because Firmino wasn't a goal scorer. He wasn't there to be a goal scorer.
No, they're not the same. They're two completely.
He was a system. And
was a false
when
nine,
I saw that
wasn't he?
opinion, I just thought,
Crazy
what's that,
takes.
sorry?
I was
Crazy
just saying
takes.
he was a false nine, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He
and
was there to be a
I thought
facilitator,
that was
so.
one of the worst tweets I've ever seen, guys. I thought that was the one worst tweets I've ever seen, saying like Nunez scored more goals than Firmino. I just thought, just log out, mate. Don't talk football ever again. Reece, is he right though? Is Robbie Fowler right? He's just not a Liverpool player.
It just hasn't worked out, innit? That's we have to be honest here. Like you can't, like I said, if we're gonna bring work rate into it, or we're gonna rate what, then is that he does try, and he doesn't hide, and he tries to give everything. But like I said, when you really look at strikers, when I really look at strikers, I'm not really looking at hard work. Even most players, to be fair, in general, I'm not really looking at. I kind of think that's a given. I think you should be working hard for your team. That's
Yeah.
that's how you should be in life. That's it. Any type of job or anything you put you're passionate about or you invest in, the hard work should be standard anyway. It's about, do you have that
Yeah.
do you have that quality, or are you making that progress? And for me, it's just it's not working out. If you look at Nunez, obviously he looks like someone who's trying, but he looks like he's very low on confidence. If you watch, because especially that Accrington and Stanley, for me, that's kind of the perfect game for you to try and get some goals under your belt. And obviously the one or two chances he had, like that one chance he had, for me, that's got to be a goal for me, even though he's not even looking at the goal. And the first touch was a great touch, but he just looks, we've seen that too many times, kind of Nunes. He looks like short of confidence. He looks like he's kind of dropping into midfield. And from when fans are kind of counting, fans who are maybe Nunes fans, they're kind of talking about the assists and certain things instead of goals. Whereas, don't get me wrong, assists play a part, but like I said, when you're a striker, what ideally your one job is to put the ball in the back of the net. And like I said, I just don't think it's working out. I don't have nothing personal against Nunes. And I think in the summer we'll move him on. But I think Fowler, like I said, he's someone who can speak. Because if you look at what he done at Liverpool, you can't really speak to Fowler. For me, he's one of the greatest to play.
Yeah.
One of the greatest strikers to play in the Premier League. So yeah, I agree with what he said. Like I said, it weren't personal. Obviously, some people are going to take it that way, but is what it is.
What gets me is that when we bought him, I was so excited by him. I thought this is a sensational signing. When he played against Benfica, he was sensational, and I thought, yes, this is the kind of striker we need. And it just annoys me that I guessed him to become good. He didn't become good. I don't like being wrong, but I'll admit when I'm wrong. I got Nunez wrong. I stuck up for him quite a bit. I did a rivals talk with on a previous channel with Cecil and with a couple of my United fans. Said, look, Nunez he's got it. He's got something there, and they tell me he hasn't. He hasn't. I kept sticking up for him. I stuck up for him so long. I think a lot of people have. I think that's the thing with Nunez. He's had so much support, and it feels like it's all been wasted. And it has been 3 years, Patricia. Is it time? It's just simply not good enough for Liverpool. It's just not a Liverpool player. It is what it is, isn't it? We have them sometimes. We have players like that sometimes. Just is what it is. Move him on.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're gonna go through peaks and troughs of players and stuff like that. And I fully agree with what Reece said. Like, it's mainly a confidence thing, because you seen it when he played for Benfica, and when he started off for us, he had high confidence. We bought him for a high value. And the problem is that there were many links with Haaland. Like, oh, he's going to be Haaland. He's going to be better than Haaland, or Haaland's going to be better. So I think that kind of played a massive part into it. You can see that he had it there, because think about it, when he doesn't think about what he's got to do, and he just shoots, they tend to go in at times. Like in that 7-0 game when we played Man United, he just chipped the keeper, and when he sat the keeper down, he can actually do it. It's like when he took that horrible touch out wide against Bournemouth. We thought, he's messed this up now, but he managed to cut back inside and wrap it top bins, the top right hand corner. So there is a player there, and he has got the ability. It just seems to be that maybe it's a massive confidence thing. It just, maybe he needs to go back to a league where he can settle, build his confidence back up again, and we'll see a player there. It just isn't the Fernando Torres we were looking for,
No.
or So that sort of stature, or a Luis Suarez, where we were hoping that after a few seasons we'd get the best out of him, but it just seems to be that he needs to go somewhere else where he'd be better off. I want the best for him. I have no problems against Nunez. I really wanted him to work out, just like you said that you wanted him to. So even if he do moves on, I hope the best for him, and I just want I want us to get someone that is a bit more clinical. And there's nothing wrong with wanting that. That we're a football club is what we need, to be honest. Like, imagine we still had Mignolet or Loris Karius as a goalkeeper instead of Alisson. I don't think we'd have
we
a
can't
Champions
criticize.
League.
We can't criticize Karius. You know what I'm saying? You're absolutely spot on there. Like we can't accept mediocrity. We're a Liverpool Football Club here. We can't just accept a certain standard. And just because you can't, some fans don't want criticism or whatever. You know, these same fans are probably backing Andre Voronin. We'd still have Andre Voronin up front if it was up to them. Can't criticise him. He's a Liverpool player. Can't criticise him. Don't give me that bollocks. Criticism is okay. Abuse is not okay. But stop being soft for me. And if Robbie Fowler is the guy that's saying this, then it's time to perk your ears a little bit, because this guy has every right of saying this, and he hasn't really said anything wrong. He just tells us the truth. Let's hope Nunez does come good for the second half of the season, and we don't have to go about another striker. It somehow turns it around. But if we're honest here, it doesn't look like happening, if I'm honest. But thank you for watching. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, Liverpool content out every single day. Give us your thoughts on Nunez in the comments. Give us your thoughts on what Robbie Fowler said as well. Is Robbie Fowler right? Is he right to criticise as well? And what are your thoughts on criticism in football? And if you want to put in life in general, let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.